Are you ready to dominate Avowed and make your journey through the Living Lands way smoother? Whether you're new or just looking for some pro tips, I've got you covered with 7 essential tricks to make your adventure way easier. And if you stick around until the end, I have a few more not so well known facts which might make your gameplay even more interesting. So let's jump in. Tip number 1, pick up everything you see, because unlike other games you might have played in the past, Avowed has no punishment system. You can take everything from everyone's house. There is no stealing. And it is very important that you are picking up and collecting everything that you see, because Avowed rewards explorers. Every item, whether it's ingredients, weapons, or junk, has value at some point or during certain situations throughout the game. You will use materials for crafting, selling, or even quest objectives, as well as maintaining health and mana. So if your inventory gets too full, don't worry. We've got a fix for that later in the list. Tip number 2. Eat food and drinks between fights. Unlike some RPGs, Avowed doesn't give you a natural health and mana regen rate automatically unless you find special items. So it's very important that you are making sure that you are topping off your health and mana between each fight by using food, not potions. During battles, you will find that mobs never miss, and you will need every potion you have to maintain and stay alive in every fight that you get into. So, in between each fight, make sure that you go into your inventory and look for the food that has the big heart or the big mana symbol next to it. That way you can recharge faster all of your health and all of your mana without using all of those precious pots that you will need during the fights. Tip number 3, eat buff food before every fight. Because in Avowed, you will need every advantage you can find to beat the mobs around the Freelands. Keeping this in mind, you can go into your inventory and you can find food that has this symbol next to it. If you mouse over, it will tell you exactly which buffs you will be receiving before that fight begins. So make sure that before you're heading into combat to check your inventory for these buff foods. That way you will have the extra edge whenever you get into battle. And speaking of damage buffs, there's one guaranteed way to make 1,000-fold more damage inside of the game. That is hitting the like and subscribe button. That way you can get more up-to-date tips and information on this game in the future. Tip number 4, manage weight by using your companion's camp. Are you over encumbered and moving at a snail's pace? You don't need to drop the items on the ground. You can transfer them from anywhere on the map to your companion's stash at any time by pressing the R button whenever you are scrolled over the item that you want to transfer. This keeps your inventory free while still holding on to valuable loot. So remember, don't throw anything away. Transfer it all to your companion's camp. Tip number 5, climb every scaffold you see. As you're making your way through the map, if you see something that looks like a scaffold or a ramp, you need to be climbing it. There is a chest at the top of these things 99.9% of the time, filled with loot, gear, gold, upgrade materials, and all other kinds of things. It's a simple trick that pays off in the long run. Also, you might find something very unique hidden in these chests, so make sure anytime you see something that even remotely looks like it could be a jump puzzle, climb it. Tip number 6, aim for the diamonds on the enemies. During combat, you might notice there is a diamond marker on the enemies. Those are the weak spots. Landing hits on these zones deal extra damage, helping you end fights faster and more efficiently. I wish I would have noticed this one very early because I struggled with some of the boss fights until I realized as I'm aiming, as long as I'm hitting those diamonds, it was dealing out double and triple amounts of damage. So remember, aim for the diamonds. Tip number 7, upgrade your companion's skills. Because your companions aren't just along for the ride, they also have skills that can be upgraded. And I played at least 4 or 5 hours without realizing that these skills are so important. Always make sure to go to the companions tab and just double check to make sure that they aren't ready for an upgrade. If they are, make sure you're choosing wisely towards what type of gameplay you are playing, and you can upgrade them accordingly. Now, as a bonus, there are 2 things I can tell you can do to help immerse yourself into the game more. First off, you can change the appearance of your companions in the tent in the companions campsite. So make sure to go over and check to see what your options are. Second, I watch every video outtake as well as dialogue. Do not miss any of this important information. It will definitely help you immerse and understand what is going on around you in the game. Remember, Avowed is not meant to be sprint through. It is meant to be laid back and enjoyed as if you were watching a movie. And there you have it, 7 essential tips to make Avowed an easier and more enjoyable experience. If this helped, be sure to like, subscribe, and hey, let me know in the comments which tip you found most useful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.